my dear brother monks, devotees, and friends. I am very much honored to stand here to speak a few words to you on this very historic occasion. At the same time, I'm happy to inform you, just this morning I got through WhatsApp. This day, that means in America, tomorrow, 11 September 2018 was declared by the governor of Illinois State, where Chicago is, proclaimed the Swami Vivekananda Day. What a great treaty! We really appreciate the American spirit. Many people, later I will tell you, presented the papers, but Swamiji could get this honor. Now, today I shall touch just on Untitled Swamiji. As time is not there, and you're waiting for the beautiful performance by artists. Now, what was the Parliamentary Board of Religions? Before going, we have to know the Chicago 1893, they held the world's Columbus Exposition to commemorate the Columbus's arrival to New World. At the same time, they say Chicago was shattered by the big fire and then Chicago resurged. So to commemorate that, they had this World Exposition, which lasted 6 months from May 1st to November 30th. It was spread over the 690 acres of land. You can imagine how vast was this exposition. And they have newly built 200 buildings, but they are temporary. And then they say the style, architect style was neoclassic, etc., etc. And people and the culture from 46 countries, they gather. And surprisingly, more than 27 million people attended this exposition from all over the world. So, many felt we should do something utilizing this wonderful opportunity. So many Congress and then Parliament were held. And this World Parliament of Religion is one of them. It's just one of them, but it was the largest and the most spectacular event. And then we can add the most important ones. You can see there are people from all over the world, but predominantly Christian dominance was felt. Now, we know this was held or opened on 11 September at the Parliament Auxiliary Building. Now the name is changed. The Art Building or something like that. So, here, Christian representative delivered 152 of 194 papers. So easily you can imagine. So many Christians attended, and then they presided. Then from other faiths, 12 speakers from Buddhism, 11, Judaism, 8, Hinduism, 2 Islam, 2 Parsis, 2 Shintoism from Japan, 2 Confucianism from China, 1 Taoism from China, and 1 Jainism. These are the figures, and then they discussed these 16 days. Now, what is the purpose of the World Parliamentary Religions? It is quite interesting to know. One person, closer, okay, who became the President of Congress, Mr. Charles Bonney. He was a Swedenborgian. He is a founder of the new church. He had vision. So his aim was, or object was quite clear. This Congress to unite all religions against the irreligions. Then, if the great religious faiths could be brought together, many points of sympathy and unity could be found, and a common unity of mankind in the love of God, for the service of man would be greatly facilitated and advanced. It is a wonderful sentiment. But actually what happened was far from this, because one religion dominated. And the chairman, now the parliament was the Reverend Dr. John Henry Burroughs. He was a Presbyterian, and he was a staunch Christian. So he had this view, unfortunately. Christianity is to supplant all other religions because it contains all the truth there is in them, and much besides revealing a redeeming God. Christian people wanted to show the supremacy of Christianity over other religions. This was their aim, to hold this parliamentary religions. And very interestingly, you see, we are talking about 1890s end. Even in India, among the religions, there was no harmony. And then many of them thought we are the best. So also, among Christianity, the Archbishop of Canterbury, he was also invited, but his letter showed, I don't see the meaning of parliamentary religion. There is only one Christianity. Very staunch mind. They are called exclusivism. My religion only exists. We don't care others. Because of this attitude, as Swamiji mentioned in the first speech, terrible thing happened, and even now happening. Not only he, there are few more. Now, as I said, many representatives from other faiths were invited, and then those who have presented supposed to be the authoritative people from each religions. And then they stressed not harmony, but their own faith. Here comes the greatness of Swamiji, which already our President Swamiji has led. Vivekananda's speech significance first for the West. Idea of harmony of religion. This was stressed. As we have heard, Swamiji quoted two scriptures, one from Shiva Mahimana Stotra. This is a famous one. As different streams having their sources in different paths, etc., etc., but all lead to God. Lucina, Vaicitriat, etc., etc., comes. And then from the Gita, also he quoted. But in his paper on Hinduism, Swamiji presents wonderful ideas which only Swamiji could do it. It's the grandest idea of religions. It's idea of universal religions. What is a universal religion preached by Swamiji? Universal religion which would hold no location in place or time, which would be infinite like God. It would preach through the sun shines upon the followers of Krishna or Christ, saints or sinner alike, which would not be the Brahman or Buddhist, Christian or Mohammedan, but the sum total of all these and still have infinite space for development. Such idea, who could think of? Swamiji. Of course, Swamiji was guided by Sri Ramakrishna. He tells even in this manner, I want to take man to a place where there is neither Vedas, Quran, or Bible, but where the essence of them all mingle for the welfare of mankind. Swamiji says one place, name we don't want, whether Hinduism or Buddhism or Christianity. We don't want name. Those ideas really come from the essence of Vedanta. Swamiji put it in this manner. Beautiful. Most of us are unthinkable. So, such a wonderful idea Swamiji gave. And another one, which the West never heard of. What was that? The divinity of man. They have been told from birth, you are sinners, you are sinners, you are sinners. No. Swamiji speaks in the paper on Hinduism, quoting from the Shweta Upanishad. Shrimvant Vishwe Amritasya Putraha. Hear ye, the children of immortal bliss. And he adds, what a sweet name, the children of immortal bliss. You are not the children of sinners. You are children of immortal bliss. Divinity is within you. These ideas, they never heard. And this Shweta Upanishads is wonderful. Mind you, whom he is addressing? Vishwe, the world, not confined to India. The sages, ancient India, was speaking truth to the whole world. Even Age Dharmani Vidyanitas, or the divine being who are residing in higher sphere, you also listen. It is good for you. They are not yet realized. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Prasta. I have realized the Purusha, great Purusha, which is shining like sun beyond the tamas, beyond the darkness. Tameva viditva adimrityu meti. Knowing him only we can go beyond the death. Na anya panta vidya there. There is no other way. So Swamiji stressed the divinity of man as Sri Ramakrishna stressed. And this was the liberation. Even while I was in Japan before joining, when I read Ramakrishna's Gospel, there Ramakrishna says the same. It was a totally new thing for us. Swami Satyalokananda used to travel all over the world from 1960s end to 1997. Even 1990s in the West, when he spoke this truth, many foreigners, many Europeans felt, oh, we have never heard this truth. Oh, we are divine. Oh, what a wonderful thing it is. So such a wonderful message Swamiji gave. Now, we come to, for Hinduism or for India, Sister Nivedita, in her introduction to the complete works, she wrote in this manner. It may be said that when he began to speak, it was of the religious ideas of the Hindus. But when he ended, Hinduism had been created. Before him, the consolidated Hinduism was not there, the concept, but he has given this. Swamiji gave to Hinduism as a whole a clear-cut identity, a distinct profile. Before he came, Hinduism was a loose confederation of many different sects. Swamiji was the first person to accept all Hindu doctrines and the views of all Hindu philosophers and sects as different aspects of one total view of reality and way of life known as Hinduism. This he learned from Master Sri Ramakrishna. So Swamiji was called the New Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya, as you know, Shammata Sthapanacharya. So also Swamiji. And at the same time, as he traveled all over India, and he realized, so Swamiji gave Indians proper understanding of their country's great spiritual heritage, and thus gave them pride in their past. Many of the intellectuals at the time were afraid to call himself or herself, or intellectuals, I'm telling you, the Hindus, because Hinduism was criticized by Christianity as a primitive religion full of superstitions. Swamiji gave the strength proud to be called oneself as a Hindu. Now, what was the reaction of Swamiji's speeches at the Parliament of Religions? I think most of you know. When Swamiji addressed in his first speech, Sisters and Brothers of America, the book on Parliamentary Religions writes, almost 2 minutes, what you call clapping was there. Automatically this clapping started and continued. The word of saints has a power, and naturally Swamiji's, his words were like living wire. Vivekananda said, if you touch, you cannot but feel the shock which we get when we touch an electric line. Living. So naturally, he could arouse in the people's mind, and including those who are against him also cannot but accept the Swamiji's prominence. One Mr. M.M. Snell, founder of the Universal Brotherhood, he observed like this. By far the most important typical representative of Hinduism was Swami Vivekananda, who in fact was beyond question the most popular and influential man in the parliament. He was received with greater enthusiasm than any other speaker, Christian or pagan. The people thronged about him wherever he went and hung with eagerness on his every word. The most read of Orthodox Christians say of him, he is indeed a prince among men. Before appearing in the Parliament of World Relations, Swamiji already prophesied when he met Swami Satyalokananda, he said in this manner, Haribai, the Parliament of Religions is being organized for this. This means Swamiji himself. Sri Ramakrishna also said, Nare Shikkadeve, Nare will teach the world. So it is natural he became so famous in this. And a few years later, he said this famous word, I have a message to the West as Buddha had a message to the East. I think he had a message not only to the East, West, but both to the world. His teaching is very much relevant. Many people may say, his sayings are more than 120 years ago. What kind of relevance you have? Yes. In the first speech, we heard, because of religions, hatred. Though he tells religion has brought the best love, peace, good
humankind, at the same time, ugliest human beings, hatred. As long as these are there, Swamiji's message will continue. He said, my teachings will continue for the next 1,500 years. But that is too modest. As the Buddha's teachings still continues and will continue, Jesus' teachings same, so also, as long as human beings there, Swamiji's words will remain and influence. Especially, this was his last speech. And then this is very much relevant. That's why Illinois governor felt the needs of the teaching of Swami Vivekananda. He says it is relevant. In the Parliamentary religions has shown anything to the world, it is this. It has proved to the world that holiness, purity, and charity are not the exclusive possessions of any church in the world, and that every system has produced men and women of the most exalted character. In the face of this evidence, if anybody dreams of the exclusive survival of his own religion and the destruction of others, I pity him from the bottom of my heart and point out to him that upon the banner of every religion will soon be written, in spite of resistance, help and not fight, assimilation and not destruction, harmony and peace and not dissension. This is still very much relevant. We are seeing every day war is going on. And after this first World Parliament of Religions, 100 years later, Second World Parliament of Religions was held at Chicago. Then those groups still continue. This year they are having the World Parliament of Religions at Toronto in Canada. Like-minded people, same people, they want to struggle, they want to bring harmony, though oppositions are there. And Swamiji is the one who started the inter-religious dialogues idea. If you want to seek anything, you read Swamiji, you will get something. Swamiji will inspire you, not for only the intellectuals, but for housewives, children, anybody, those who read Swamiji, you will get something. He will inspire you. He will give you tremendous energy to face any challenges of this life. These are the points I wanted to share. And then I end with Swamiji's famous saying, teach yourself, teach everyone, his or her real nature. Call upon the sleeping soul and see how it wakes. The power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, everything that is excellent will come when this sleeping soul is roused to self-conscious activity. Most of us are unfortunately to say sleeping still. That's why Swami tells, awake, arise, stop not till the goal is reached. Our goal is to manifest our divinity within. I just want to add Now after me, we have a music performance. Swamiji and the music go together. He was an excellent singer. He could sing whole night. And he was a tabla player or taklash player. I had the opportunity to listen on his birthdays, especially at Calcutta, the best Indian musicians, classic musicians. And I am happy to tell you, as we are having this at the Belmont, they also having a wonderful performance by Mehar Gharana, created by Alauddin Khan, Ustad Alauddin Khan. He was the guru of Ravi Shankar and the other famous classic Pandit and Ustads. At the same time, very interestingly, he learned music instruments from Swamiji's cousin, Amritalal Datta, at Girish Chandra Ghosh's theater called the Star Theater. Anyway, I pray Swamiji will inspire us to tread our spiritual life and manifest our divinity as much as we can in this very life. Thank you.